We're in France at the European FITASC Championships. We're in Brazil to see how they set up a skeet layout. Plus we're at West London replicating a famous speed shooting challenge.
Bang, bang. Bang, bang.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Hall. Welcome to Claysports.
Despite the European debate raging in the UK, there are no FITASC sceptics here. Indeed, with the British contingent the strongest of the 28 countries represented, this is Europe at its best. The four-day competition has not been without its problems. A monsoon at the beginning of the week led to some quick work by the organisers. The president of FITASC suspects it may play into the hands of the Brits.
It is an advantage for the British shooters.
We have webbed feet.
So you're welcome in France, and especially at this moment, because we don't know if you are going to, it's maybe the last European Championship for the British. It's depending on your decisions.
So, doubt about our eligibility for next year's Euro Championship, the 50th, which will be heading to UK shores. Based in Saint-Lambert, a couple of hours from Calais, the course was set by Graham Brown. After months of work, this is what he has to deal with.
We lost 6 traps underwater, had to pull everything out, rebuild 6 of the stands, lost some of our best stands, unfortunately just can't get there. And we've managed to pull it back together, but lost some of the original balance, but fortunately it's still shooting well with a similar balance with the new targets.
Once the traps are brought back from the depths, attentions are turned to the logistical nightmare of keeping nearly 800 competitors moving around this beautiful woodland.
Very, very difficult, because my staff must go for the parking, because it's difficult to park a car. It's difficult to go to take a score of stock because the engine is not good.
The big names are here: George, Cheryl and Mark. At the halfway stage, Mr. Windsor is joint leader, having dropped 2 targets over the past 2 days. He is a big fan of FITASC.
FITASC is good. It's a different type of shooting. You know, sporting, some people refer to it as a bit of a repetition game, which it is. They're right. It's one bird after the other, but FITASC is more interesting. You can get, over the course of 25 birds, you can get so many different targets thrown. So I do think it's a slight bit better than English sporting. Yeah, more enjoyable.
Mark confesses he's probably spent too much time on clay grounds coaching to feel hungry for the competitions, but it could be different here.
You know, I've built myself back up for this one, because I couldn't say I've lost it over the last few months. I've just not done as much shooting, not been as keen because I've been too busy. But had a bit of a break at a wedding coming up to this, so maybe it's done me good, you know, coming away from a shooting ground for more than 24 hours. But yeah, I'm enjoying myself at the minute, and there's no added pressure for me at the minute. As long as I'm going out there and shooting targets, it's fine by me.
You may think that FITASC is a very European discipline. Relaxed, guns taking time to smell the powder and breathe in the targets. 25 in the morning, a break. 25 in the afternoon. But don't be deceived.
Normally when we're at home we want to shoot as many as we can on a Sunday, so it's a race to see how many shoots you can get to. But in actual fact, shooting 50 targets today, it's quite hard going, and you don't realise how tired you get, because you put everything you've got into those 50 targets and you concentrate so hard and so much that you do actually feel, if you've done a good job, you should feel absolutely exhausted at the end of it.
Have you won this before?
Yeah. I run it 6 years on the trot, and there's quite a lot of pressure to see if I can do it for the 7th. Thanks for that question. Good God.
Moving on swiftly. For those that don't know the subtle difference between a sporting competition and FITASC, Cheryl will explain.
Okay, so basically for a FITASC you have to have your gun below a certain line, and you can't move the gun until you see the targets. Some of the targets take a little while to come out because they're coming from behind trees. Some targets come out really, really fast. So you have to have a gun that fits you, obviously, and you have to have confidence in the gun to be able to mount that gun as quick as you can to make that nice shot.
Now we are of course in France, and according to Graham Brown, there are typical French targets. We are more interested in the state of Claysports here. The French Shooting Federation is spending money to secure the future of the sport.
Aujourd'hui, les clubs n'ont pas les outils juridiques, donc nous devons, toute la corporation du ball-trap, de défendre les clubs, les tireurs, d'inciter les nouveaux à venir, d'inciter les dames aussi à participer. Et je dirais, plus il y a de gens qui parlent du ball, plus il y a de gens qui vont participer et venir découvrir notre passion, qui est le tir du plateau.
Companies like Laporte, Zolli and Beretta are also being proactive with the We Shoot app and a dedicated shooting academy.
For me, it's a shame to see that we have more veterans and super veterans in the competition than the junior, I make the deal with 2 other companies, the company Laporte, who sell clays and machine, and one shooting range from Skeet, south of France. And we decide all 3 together to promote the shoot for the young shooters. The most important thing is most of the people never shoot before, and the parents were so exciting that now they start also to practice, and it's a really good thing.
The initiative connects competitive shots with the youngsters whom they feel will represent the sport in the best possible way. French shooter Nicolas Berry is one of the Laporte-sponsored mentors.
What matters to Laporte and to us and to We Shoot as well is that we need these kids, these students, these pupils to be polite, they need to be nice with other people, they need to show a good example to other kids.
And how's he doing?
He's doing pretty well. He beat me by 2 targets. He's doing good.
Become the master.
Yeah, exactly.
So, how does it feel for Adrian to see the pupil become the master?
Donc, je m'étais fixé un objectif.
He set 2 goals for today's competition. The first one was to kick my ass, which worked pretty well, and the second one is to beat another junior shooter, and he hasn't seen the results yet. We're gonna kill you.
Back to the competition and cut to 2 days later. Our presenter Cheryl takes the women's title for the 7th time on the trot. Yay, well done Cheryl. But there is controversy in the men's shoot-off. With Mark in the lead, he throws it away on purpose by shooting at thin air rather than the Laporte targets.
Coming to the last peg, I thought, you know what, the most honest decision and the best decision would be to shoot targets honestly, but miss them on purpose, because the true honest champion was Matthew, and I'm not going to have people say that you won the championship when you truly didn't, because it was a referee's mistake, not mine. So on the last stand there was 4 singles and 2 doubles, so I went on and the bird went to the right and I shot to the left, and the bird went low, I shot higher. And puddles, I shot the puddles, made the splash, everyone started cheering, clapping. Everybody knew what I was up to, And then Matthew, all credit to him, he went back on and he shot all the singles, and I think he missed maybe 1 double, and maybe he killed all of them, I don't know. But at the end of the day, this is exactly what I wanted to happen, because I wasn't going to have anybody put slander against my name saying that I cheated or anything like that. No way. A championship is worth nothing to me if it's not won honestly.
The championship goes to Mathieu, and Mark is rightly hailed a true sportsman.
Now from France to Brazil and the Deodoro Stadium, where they're going to show us how to set up a skeet layout.
For the Olympics, there needs to be standards, parameters. Usain Bolt doesn't want to run 101 metres, it needs to be bang on 100. The same goes for the shooting disciplines. It may look like the Olympic jury members are about to have a game of netball, but this hoop is what the Laporte targets have officially to jump through for the Skeet range to be signed off. Adjusting and tweaking the targets are the Laporte engineers, and dodging the targets out front is Glennis from Australia.
So Glenn, what are we doing right now? Because you look like you're just dodging bullets, to be honest.
We are setting the Skeet range for tomorrow afternoon when the double trap finishes. We will start Skeet training. So we're setting the range, getting it ready, checking the targets, checking the distances. My job here is seeing that the target comes through the hoop and that the correct distance.
So this has to be standardised really, doesn't it? That's the whole process.
Yes, so the range has to be correct in distance so that these pegs, and we know where to stand, where to check that where the target falls.
It's a team effort, and about half a dozen jury members are involved in getting this right.
Because it's a new range, Laporte, like all of us, are feeling their way and testing the waters and ironing out any problems. It's good that you've worked with them and they understand where you're coming from.
Ultimately, it's all about making sure those athletes are
That's what
happy.
we're here for. We're here to make it a fair and even and show the best targets that we possibly can.
So, according to the rule book, in calm weather conditions, targets must carry a minimum of 65 metres and a maximum of 67 metres as measured from the front of the house behind stations 1 and 7. A useful nugget of information to tell your friends when Amber Hill takes the Olympic stage in a few weeks' time.
Come on Team GB. Now, a pheasant shooting time trial at West London Shooting School.
I was writing a piece for the Shooting Gazette on shooting records. And one of the commonly cited shooting records is Lord Rippon's 28 pheasants in a minute, allegedly at Sandringham, timed by a friend with a stopwatch who conveniently happened to be there. He was very competitive in all aspects of his life, but especially shooting. He was often found to be practicing with his loaders quietly after dinner. He was characterised as one of the two great shots of the 19th century, the other being Lord Walsingham. They are both credited with records. Lord Rippon's other record is to have 7 birds dead in the air simultaneously with 3 guns and 2 loaders. That has been mathematically demonstrated, I think, to be largely impossible with the propellants used at the time. But, a legend is a legend. Walsingham died in penury in France, having squandered all his money, including the site of the Ritz, which he sold to fund his grouse shooting. Lord Rippon died in a grouse butt.
The character of the Marquis of Ripon in that clip is played by Edward King from AYA. He is here because that's the gunmaker sponsoring this new Rippon Challenge at the West London Shooting School. And he is in a suitable loud tweed, putting the Edward into Edwardian. Now you will have noticed from the old photograph that his lordship has 2 loaders.
You've got to shoot 3 guns if you want to stand a chance of winning the massive prize fund. It's an enormous pile of gold coins.
The prize fund will be 1,000 guineas.
1,000 guineas.
2 loaders is a bit showy, even by Edwardian standards. So how is Edward going to do it?
Right, so I'm going to go bang, 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 bang.
Just try it that way, because then we can pass exactly the same way.
Yeah.
West London Shooting School owner Roddy Richmond Watson is on the stopwatch.
Are you ready to go? Okay, Chris, far away. Chris, you start the sequence. Stop.
It's not going right. The loaders are not getting guns to his lordship fast enough.
This is the challenge.
The pressure's on the guy stuffing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he can't do it. He can't stuff as quickly and get the gun to you as fast as you.
If you only have 2 guns, he's got a spare hand, so he can put 1 cartridge in.
Yeah, it's
a
much
more
quicker
control.
system. It's a
But
much
this
quicker
is
system.
the challenge.
Eventually they come up with a new system.
Step out of the way.
Yeah,
I step in.
You step
in. Yeah, try it.
I think we should try it.
Try it. I think we should. Because otherwise, all you're doing is handing guns.
Yeah, I've
handing
got
a gun, which is
stuffers under pressure, because I did that last time.
Yeah.
So does this work? Yes, much better. Indeed, it makes you wonder how the Marquis could have had loaders on either side of him.
I'm not saying that Rippon got it wrong. You can't argue with 28 pheasants in a minute.
Giles Catchpole, if you don't know him, is a writer for top shooting magazines, a character, bon vivant.
I think it's singularly Victorian.
Winner of Edwardian Facial Hair of the Year 1906, and this challenge is his idea.
It is going exactly as I anticipated. I think it will be, this afternoon is the second or third time that we've practiced this, and I think we're finding that there is a middle way that it achieves economy of effort with accuracy.
So why the West London Shooting School? As Roddy explains, its history goes back to those heady Edwardian days.
So we started in 1901, so we were going in the Edwardian era of shooting when all these big bags were achieved. We have record of the King coming. My grandfather, who founded it, also went to Sandringham to look after them up there, so there is that tenuous link.
Now we're going for the real thing. Suddenly Edward is under pressure.
And someone is counting kills. There's probably masses of them counting kills. That's all they'll be counting. Yes, I'm in the zone. Right, okay, when everybody's ready.
Okay. Keeper, start the drive, please.
Next, the count. They've counted the kills. Roddy wants to know the number of cartridges too.
31, 32.
32 it is.
And what are the scores on the green baize doors?
27. 27.
27 birds. All dead in the air at one time.
Three in the air at once.
Three in the air at once, possibly. It's very exciting shooting with three guns. Novel experience. You've got to take your hats off to those greats who actually managed to do it for more than a minute at a time. Because I think I need a bit of a sit down and some Weetabix now.
27 dead birds. That's one fewer than the Marquis of Ripon, so he will be pleased. Next up, Giles has a go with a black powder trio. He produces more smog than a summer jam on the M25.
I was down here at the West London some months ago and suggested that we should set up a challenge to see if we could beat or achieve Lord Rippon's record of 28 pheasants in a minute. And it came on board because we needed someone to sponsor the guns. Other sponsors will be welcome in due course. The plan is that we will be running this for 12 months, and during the course of that time competitors can enter through the West London, and the top achievers will be invited to a shoot-off for a substantial prize.
I think people could start to push the boundaries a bit, in fact, with this, and it'd be interesting to see how many people are shooting fit.
For more information about the Rippon Challenge, which is due to launch later in 2016, go to the West London Shooting School website. And for AYA guns, visit Edward's website, asi.co.uk.
Splendid!
That's it from us this week, and thanks for watching.